Sup? Usually I do an intro for these videos, but I did this whole review and it went a little long, so I'm just going to do this intro real quick. Okay, Ted. Seth MacFarlane made it. He made Family Guy, American Dad, Cleveland Show, 500 other shows that are exactly the same. I was looking forward to it, even though I don't really like Seth MacFarlane because the trailer was funny. Mark Wahlberg looks great. I don't know, blah blah blah. Let's get to the review, starting with the story. Okay, so the story here for Ted is very simple. I'm going to try to explain it real quick. You have a character named John Bennett who is a little kid in the beginning of the film, and he has no friends at all. None. Absolutely not. Not a single one. And later on in the film, he gets a teddy bear. He gets a teddy bear for Christmas, and he calls him Ted. Genius. And the same night, he decides, you know what? I want to wish for you to be my real friend. You can walk around and actually talk. And then guess what? The next day, boom, he starts walking around and talking, and that's where the movie really starts off. It actually starts off 30 years later after that, and now Mark Wahlberg plays John Bennett and Seth MacFarlane voices Ted, and they're two pot-smoking losers pretty much. They're pretty much bros that just hang out and talk trash about things and just smoke pot and just talk. That's pretty much it. And the whole plot here revolves around John and his girlfriend, of course, played by Mila Kunis, and of course Ted too. But it's all about John trying to not grow up, but trying to stick with his girlfriend and try to make her happy. And what makes her happy is if Ted moves out, because she loves Ted, don't get me wrong, but Ted is a nuisance. I mean, he brings hookers over, he does things, he breaks things, whatever. He's a raging alcoholic type, except he's a bear, so he can't really get drunk. But it's a very funny story. You see where this is going, and I have to admit, it is a one-joke premise. It's a romantic comedy. Where a friend gets in the way of the romance, and that friend happens to be a teddy bear. That's the only difference. Okay, so it's a very cliched story, but it definitely works here because of that one joke premise for the story, and it just works. I thought it was really funny, and it's a very fun story. The story is definitely more fun when the actors just are having a blast in this movie. I mean, they really are. You can tell they're just having so much fun doing this movie. First of all, Mark Wahlberg does a great job in here. He's so much fun. He's very funny. He's very fun. He's very funny. He's very fun. He's very funny. He's just really good in the film. I really especially like all the parts where he actually interacts with this CG bear. I thought that was great. I thought he did a really good job with that. You actually felt the camaraderie. That's how you say it, right? Camaraderie between this teddy bear and Marky Mark. So yeah, I thought it was really good. Mark Wahlberg did a great job. Mila Kunis, she's really likable in this film, only because she's not that bitchy girlfriend where it's like, I want him out of here now, blah 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 blah. No, she gives Mark Wahlberg's character a lot of chances just to, grow up pretty much. And I really liked her character. She's very fair, and I love when there's a romantic movie where the girlfriend isn't the bitch or the boyfriend isn't the asshole or something, and that's great. I love that, and she's a great character in this. Ted, Seth MacFarlane, I mean, he's just doing Peter Griffin, sure, which I think he's doing more Brian, I would say. He's doing a mixture, I would say. He's doing a mixture of Peter Griffin and Brian from Family Guy. And, I mean, sure, it's uninspired because he's doing the same voice pretty much, but he's hilarious in this film. He really is. He's so much fun to listen to. I don't know, I just love that voice he has, and it just matches Ted perfectly. So it matches Peter Griffin perfectly, and it matches Ted perfectly, so whatever. He does a great job in this also. And some of the supporting cast, like you have Joel McHale, who plays the douchebag boss that's always trying to hit on Mila Kunis' character. He's great in the film. You have Giovanni Ribisi, who plays a very creepy character later on in the film. I don't really want to spoil it, but he does a really good job. Some of the cameos they have in this film, like Patrick Warburton, and to be honest, I don't really want to spoil some of them, but I'll just say not a single one of those cameos were bad. They were all really funny. So there you go. The acting was damn good in this film. With that being said, let me get into the main thing I want to talk about. The thing I've been hinting at throughout this entire review. This movie, comedic wise, it's freaking hilarious. I love the comedy in this film, and it's not going to be for everybody. There's a lot of people I already know that don't really care for the comedy in this film, but that's fine. You know why? Because it's not for you. If you don't like Family Guy, if you never liked Family Guy at all, even when it was good, supposedly, then you're not going to like this film, because it is just a R-rated version of Family Guy. It's a much more gross out version of Family Guy. So if you're expecting it not to be like that, you're not getting it. But if you want that, if you want it just to be a really funny, really long version of the Family Guy, the Family Guy episode, then that's what you're getting here, because it's so funny, it really is. And don't get me wrong, there are parts here and there that are a little not really like, oh my god, it's more like, that could have been funnier. But for the most part, it's just hilarious all the way through, and it's so much fun too. All the way through, and it's like 105 minute long. Yeah, it's about 105 minutes long, and it's just so much fun. And it goes by so quick. It's so breezy. It breezes through. Whatever. It goes by quick. That's what I'm trying to say. And it's just an entertaining film. There's no way for me to explain it. I don't want to even spoil any of the jokes, even though most of them are just like either fart jokes or dick jokes or poop jokes. There's actually one really funny poop joke in the middle of the film, and there's also a lot of those racy type of jokes, like 9/11 jokes. There's some Jewish jokes. There's some black jokes here and there. So, if you're just looking for a fun time, bring a friend, bring a bunch of buddies, have a brewski, and go out there and just have some fun, because Ted is a very entertaining film. I only have one problem, and that is it's a little cliche. Actually, I have two problems. It's a little cliche with the story, and sometimes the jokes don't always hit. But for the most part, it's a very funny film. Definitely go check it out. I'm going to keep saying it's very funny. It's very funny. This is a review. It's very funny. It's very funny. It's very funny. So anyway, go check it out. It's very funny. So I'm going to give it a 35 out of a 40. This is my second favorite comedy, right below 21 Jump Street. This year is pretty good for comedies. Two really fantastic ones. That's good enough for me. So anyway, we have The Watch coming out next month. Hopefully that'll be good too. So anyway, there you go. There's my review. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you and goodbye.